Well, there's no better place to start with the transfer roundup than potentially solving our problems in this January window that we've just been talking about with a new striker. And it's quite a surprise that we've been linked with Matthias Tell from Bayern Munich because all signs pointed towards him going to Chelsea at the start of this window. But United seem to have been thrown into the mix with this. What do you think about that?
I think he's a good player. I think he's impressive. He hasn't gotten enough minutes with Bayern for some reason, even last season. Whenever he plays, he does well. But he's young. He's 20. I think it's a risk, to be honest. If he would come to United, I think it's a risk because, like we've been mentioning and talking about over and over, that's not what we need right now. I think he would do it well at like Chelsea or someone like who has like a proper striker already. But he is a good player. I think he has a lot of potential, and I think he should move because he's wasting his time like at Bayern. He's not progressing. He's not getting minutes. For United, I don't know. I personally I prefer someone who's more proven.
I think if we didn't have Xerxes and Højlund, I would say Tell would be a decent signing to bring it underneath a proven striker, but we currently don't have a proven striker, and you are definitely rolling the dice on Matthias Tell if you're expecting him to come in and lead the line straight away. He could come in and be phenomenal, but you are taking a massive risk. So it's difficult. It's not an Osimhen. It's not a what's the other lad that's about to go to Al Nassr? Victor Boniface.
Boniface, yeah.
Yeah, it's not him. Even Cole Muani, he's not a top goal scorer, or he's not someone that I think would have fixed the Manchester United forward line. But yeah, Tell just seems a bit of a risk. Aside from Tell, we've had a couple of here we goes from Fabrizio Romano over the last 24 hours. The first one being Aiden Heaven from the Arsenal Academy, which I think that's gone through. I think they've got to sign the papers. You was actually saying that he might come into the team as into the first team straight away at 18. I think he is. We'll discuss that in a second. But the other one was overnight was Dorgu from Lecce. Fabrizio Romano said that they've agreed a fee with him, which I think is around 30 million euros, which seems like decent value. There was probably a time last season before that we'd have paid 60, 70 million for him, but we seem to have stood our ground to get a decent deal out of it. And again, we don't know if he's going to be a great asset, but what we do know is he can play on the left side, and that's going to be a major thing for us because we don't have a recognised left back that's fit. So what do you mentioned, let's go back to the Aiden Heaven thing, because you were saying that he's been brought in for cover for Martinez, right?
Yeah, that's what I read. Academy Scoop, I think, his handle on Twitter, on X. Mm-hmm. He's very reliable, especially when it comes to Academy news. So yeah, he was saying that he is coming as like a cover for Lisandro, coming straight into the first team, which I think is really, really good. Because we don't have anyone to cover for Lisandro, to be honest. And if you want to buy someone who's left-footed, like their left-footed centre backs are in demand so much right now. So like if you go to a club for a proven left-footed centre back, you're gonna have to pay a premium. Getting someone who's young, who has time to develop, who has potential, who's left-footed, he's actually huge. He's very big for an 18-year-old. So yeah, I think he and like I've seen clips of him. Of course, like albeit it's an under 18s, under 20s. Like he looks like he has the physicality to deal with the Premier League. Maybe not immediately, but like in a year or two, 100%. So yeah,
I mean, there's definitely a set profile for the players that we're going after at the moment. It's young, athletic, and strong. So, it definitely fits that profile. It will be interesting to see if he does get minutes in the first team when he does finally sign, because I believe Chido Obi-Martin was promised first team experience this season, and we're yet to see that. I know we're over halfway through now, right? We're halfway through. I think we are. Mm-hmm. And he still hasn't made an appearance yet. So I don't know. Maybe that project changed when Ten Hag left. I don't know how that worked out, but he's certainly promising. I think that kind of puts a nail in the coffin of Jared Branthwaite coming to United in the summer. I just don't think they're going to pay astronomical fees for players anymore, because they can't, simply because they can't. But I think Heaven, Dorgu, good start. If we can get them in the next week or so and into the first team, integrated and operating, I think that's only a benefit and a plus for us, because at least we get to see how they're turning out. On the outs, actually, there's one more on the in. Alvaro Carreras, they're saying that he might be up for coming back to United. Now, originally, when I wrote this down as someone that we were linked to, I was just going to say no, because if we've just signed Dorgu, absolutely no chance we're going to go for another left back. However, Luke Shaw, as we always talk about, his legs are made of dust, and Malacia is probably likely to go out on loan with a view to getting rid of him in the summer. So technically, we do need two left backs right now. So it could be interesting if Alvaro does come back and we get Dorgu as well. Maybe we found our cut price Kirkez, our cut price Alphonso Davies with those two.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst idea. Even if it's not now, in January, maybe we should still go for Alvaro in the summer, because you need cover, as you said, especially in the system Amram is playing. One injury to Dorgu, and then we're back to square one again. And even if you get Alvaro, Dorgu can actually play on the right. And even if he's left-footed, so it would work. Because even Amram, he always wants his right wing back to be left-footed, and Dorgu has played on the right a few times. So you can play both of them at the same time as well. You can rest Mazraoui, you can rest Dallo, you can give Shaw time to come back. So yeah, it wouldn't be the worst idea. But
how much time does Shaw need to come back? Do you know what I mean?
It's ridiculous.
It's forever.
I think it's the last time he started for us was almost a year ago. I think the fact that he went to the Euros and he forced himself to play in the semi-final and the final, just for what? I don't know.
It's quite interesting when you look back at that Jim Ratcliffe quote that he did when England were playing in the finals. He basically said something like, "Good luck, Luke. Don't get injured," or something to that effect.
Actually, said that. No, he word for word he said that.
Yeah, and then when you think about it, it's he's protecting. He knows that he's a valuable asset. Is now out there playing when he should be recuperating at Old Trafford and getting better to put his best for United. It's kind of a little bit of did he mean it in a not in a fun, playful way, but you're going on international duty when we pay your salary here. You should be recuperating for us, not going out there. I think that's, I don't know. Hindsight is a beautiful way to create these types of narratives and stories, but just looking back on that quote was a little bit maybe he's saying something to him. Maybe he's getting a message to him, we're your paymasters, not England. Exactly. So let's see. On the outs then, Casemiro to Roma, mate. What do you think of that?
I think it makes sense. I don't know. I don't see the point of him staying around. Even I think last night Amram had some quotes regarding Casemiro. I don't know if you've seen them.
I think he said did he say he was open to letting him leave if the right offer comes in? What was no?
They were asking him like in the sense of why isn't he playing? He's like, he was blunt. Amram was blunt about it. He's like, I've seen the intensity of the Premier League and even Europa League, and Casemiro doesn't have that. Like he has the intelligence. He has like, he knows where the ball would drop. But like,
right,
what I need from my players is intensity. Basically he ended the quote saying, "It's a choice." So yeah, like he's. I love how honest he is about everything. To be honest, like it's refreshing. But
Casemiro going to Roma isn't such a crazy idea because they've just let Hermoso leave, who also played centre mid. He's gone to, is it Hermoso?
No, I think it's Paredes. Hermoso went to Leverkusen. He's a centre back, and Paredes I think is going to Boca Juniors. I think.
Okay. So they're short at the moment, basically. So Serie A is perfect for Casemiro's legs. So I think he'd be great, and I think United are willing to pay a majority of his salary as well if he does go. So let's keep an eye on that one. It'd be good for him to go out and then maybe get ready to leave properly in the summer. Because who wants to leave 375 grand a week behind? Everyone wants to keep hold of that. Speaking of overpaid people that aren't performing on the pitch right now, Marcus Rashford seems to be in the news quite a lot. The only club that seems to be able to put any sort of package together for him right now or is interested in him is Dortmund. Even all the links with Barcelona, I know they can pull the levers and create the financial situation where they can sign him and they don't go over FFP or whatever it is. But I think they've cooled on the idea. And I think Dortmund is probably that club that takes in Manchester United refugees. So it seems like they're gonna provide him with an option to move out there. But the Rashford thing, he was obviously dropped again against Fulham. Amorim coming out after the game saying he'd rather play his 60-year-old goalkeeping coach or would rather have him on the bench than people that don't train well. I mean, he didn't say Rashford's name, but we can read between the lines on that. So it feels like he's completely finished at United, completely finished. And this move needs to happen, right?
Yeah, and apparently they're not on speaking terms as well, Amorim and Rashford. The only time he ever speaks to him is when he's addressing the whole squad. I think it's obvious. It's a messed up situation, to be honest. It's a very, very messed up situation. It's very complicated because of the money he's on and the profile that he is. I think it's best. We've been saying this for a long time, even before the issues with Amorim started. Even at the beginning of the season, we said maybe it is best for both sides to just go separate ways. It's better for United, it's better for Rashford. And I don't know why nothing has materialized so far in regards to a transfer, but it's probably just because of his wage demands. And I don't think he'd be interested in playing in the Bundesliga, to be honest. Although I think he should consider it because you're playing, and I think they're in the Champions League. So
I don't think they're going to make it into the Champions League this season, because they've fallen off, haven't they? Nuri Sahin was sacked, Ten Hag possibly going in, reunited with Rashford at Dortmund, but who knows?
They're also linked with Ranić.
Oh right, okay. He's Austria coach at the moment, right?
Yeah, I think he could leave.
Without doing the ITK stuff, but the football world is a small place, and lots of podcasts, if you listen to them and the ex-pros and things like that, it kind of rings true with stuff that I've heard as well about there's other outside of football stuff that comes with Marcus Rashford, and I think that's something that might be putting people off. I don't think it's purely if it was purely a footballing option, we're going to take this player who's going to be great, fantastic, we've got an opportunity, then I'm sure there would be more offers for him. But that pool has thinned out, I guess, from when clubs have started doing due diligence on how he conducts himself, not just in training, but off the pitch, as Amorim has also claimed. And if you listen back to, we were talking about this off air earlier, if you listen back to a few of the popular Manchester United podcasts and the shows that are on YouTube, they're all hinting towards, not a particularly perfect character off the pitch. And I think that might be one of the reasons why a lot of people have cooled their interest in him. So let's see how that pans out. But he needs that move, and hopefully he gets his head back in order and he can play again, and then we can sell him in the summer, because we definitely don't need him back at Old Trafford, especially with his face like that. He just doesn't care. Looked miserable. Forget it. And the last one that I was going to mention was Garnacho. And the reason why I was going to mention Garnacho is it's kind of gone quiet after the Napoli have put a bid in and has been rejected, and then Chelsea come to the table and there was negotiations there. It's all gone a bit quiet. And at Fulham, I thought he was one of our better players. I think Amorim was trying to prove a point by playing him and starting him that he wants to keep him, regardless of the financial buffer that he would give us by selling him. Sell him for 50 and then he's worth 175 million across 3 years, whatever it is. I think Amorim wants to keep him. And I've got a feeling that he's probably going to stay.
Yeah. I think it makes sense because I think, there's like 5 days left of the transfer window. And
Tuesday.
So basically 6 days. So it's a bit short notice if you want to replace him. So if you would have sold him like a week ago, then you have time to find a replacement. But we can't sell him without a replacement coming in because, we were already so thin up front. And I don't know, like Chelsea's interest cooled down for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe now they're looking at Matthias Tell, even though they're not really the same position. Napoli, I don't know, there's still a chance that they would come up with another offer, but it's probably not going to be what United are demanding. So, I don't know. I don't see the point of selling him now. If you want to sell him, maybe sell him in the summer. But like you said, he's actually doing well at the past few games, and he is a player. He's young. He is a player with a lot of potential. Like, he's not a hopeless case that just take the money and run. So let's see what happens with that.